Okay, well, today we're going to have a look at perhaps the most comprehensive cybersecurity suite that I've ever tried out for home use, anyway. It's called the Trend Micro Security Suite Pro Plus. So this is their top of the line product, and it has more features than I know what to do with. I'm actually quite overwhelmed, and that's my biggest complaint about this. So I've loaded it onto an iOS device, an Android device, and a Windows desktop as well, to just give you a little look of how the interface is sort of the same but different on each one. So let's just start here with the on the iPhone here. So you'll see here there's all sorts of features already just built into this thing. You've even got a tutorial on how to use this. But if we just list down here and we scroll and scroll and scroll, you see there's a lot of features that we can get into. Your WebGuard to stop you opening malicious sites. Things like you can keep an eye on your data usage. There's a Wi-Fi checker to make sure that your Wi-Fi is safe. So yeah, and then of course, most importantly, we built into it now. We've got a fraud buster that helps you avoid scams. So it can monitor your messages and make sure that nothing dodgy is happening there. That's great. But as you'll see at the top of the screen, I've got this little message saying your subscription includes additional products. And if we click on that, you'll see that that's not all. We can also download an identity theft app. We can download the Trend Micro VPN app as well. So these are whole extra apps that are all part of the subscription. I would sort of prefer that that's all under one app, so I'm not having to have several different apps on my phone. But yeah, I have downloaded, for example, the Scam Check app, which is included there, and that means that you can set up your device to automatically scan for scams. But you can also, like if we click on the Scam Check, we can select a picture of something that we think is a scam. If we take a screenshot of a dodgy text or something, and then it'll run the scam filter over that to make sure that works. So here we are, on the Android, for example. I've also downloaded the Trend Micro VPN. And that seems to work very well. It seems to be a nice fast VPN, especially if you connect to a New Zealand server. But obviously, there's quite a list of countries, as you can see there, that you can VPN into, including several options just in the United States and a couple in the UK. So yeah, that's fairly comprehensive. But I have found that this VPN is quite bossy and wants to be turned on, all the time, which may or may not be a good idea. Where it turns out being a little bit tricky, I'll show you in a minute when we move to the Windows device. So there you go. That's the completely separate VPN app on the Android phone. And once again, if we just look in the main interface. We've got all those same options there, all listed off. So, for example, if we go into the WebGuard, you can literally designate a whole lot of apps that might have links, to the web, and it'll monitor those. And so, if you try and do something that looks suspicious, Trend Micro is going to let you know. So let's just have a look at the Windows application here. So as you can see, it looks a little bit different. We don't have that big list of features. Instead, we've got these icons that we can click on. So if we click on the device, then there's a whole lot more things that we can do. We can even turn this off. If we're doing something that we don't want a whole lot of warnings and security notices coming up in the middle of, for example, recording a video like this, perhaps. Um, and yes, what I like about this is that it can also do a PC health checkup to make sure that everything's running to its optimum, which is great. So that's one of those ones where you can delete unnecessary files and installation files and all that sort of thing. If we go across to the privacy area, then you can set up a pay guard. That means that you can't, somebody can't accidentally steal any saved, payment details on your device. Data theft protection. You can literally protect certain folders, on the PC, and all those other options there as well. Under data itself, here's the folder shield. That must have been what I was talking about before. As you can see, there's so many options. I could spend a very long time trying to figure out what each one of these things does. But luckily, you can just sort of let things sit at a more or less default setting without having to go too far into the advanced settings. And of course, there is a parental control option as well, which allows you to make sure that somebody in your family, a younger person perhaps, if they're using a device, that you can control what websites they can go to and what they can't. And if we go into the settings here, as you can see, there's heaps of ways that you can check what you're going to set the PC health check to actually check on. For example, you can schedule, obviously there are, this thing actually works as an antivirus and a malware deflector as well. So, to scan all your emails and, basically you're putting a giant condom over your entire virtual world with this suite. But if I just quickly, if I can just go across to the VPN. Yep, so here we go. And so as you can see, it sort of looks kind of similar to the, very similar to that user interface there. And as you can see, it's connected. And I found that this looked a little bit strange on the Windows desktop version. So you perhaps don't want to have the VPN on all the time. Like I say, I found it is quite difficult to get other devices to talk across the network to this device. This is the device where I keep my Plex media server, for example, and I want that to work around the house. And I found that I can't get that to work with the VPN connected. But if I disconnect it, as you can see, it automatically reconnects again. And then I have to go into this other VPN always on setting and untick that. And see how it all looks very kind of, it doesn't quite look like what it's supposed to look like. You would think that that's still ticked and that's unticked or something. Anyway, if we go back there and try disconnecting now, right. So we've stayed disconnected. So it seems to take me a few attempts to do that sometimes. Like I say, this is uber security for all your devices, and there will be a setting there somewhere that I can probably leave the VPN on and get things on my own private network to talk to that device, but I haven't been able to quite figure it out just yet. So needless to say, this is more than enough security for everybody, from the most novice user right up to the advanced user, depending on how much tweaking you want to do. And right now, Trend Micro have got a massive special running, and so for 12 months of all the bells and whistles, Security Suite Pro Plus, covering 3 devices, they're doing that for $119 New Zealand for 12 months. But what's better still is that you can actually lock that in for 2 years, that price. So for $238. You'll get all that coverage across all your devices, and so that includes your VPN, all these things that your scam checker, your identity theft prevention, all of that stuff that you might be paying extra individual subscriptions for. It's all bundled under one, and so for just over $10 a month, really, what are we at? $119. So no, literally under $10 a month. Yeah, you're getting the maximum protection that certainly I've ever seen. And so, yeah, I would say if you are looking at upping your cybersecurity and indeed optimizing some of your devices at the same time, it's well worth jumping onto that Trend Micro website right now and having a look.